Hi, so remember how we ended our last video? We said electric current can heat things up. But what if a wire gets too hot? Can it melt? Can it cause damage? Let's find out what happens when the heating effect goes out of control. Here is a setup from your textbook. Let's take 4 cells this time instead of 2 and connect them to a piece of steel wool. What's a steel wool, you say? Well, it's your scrub that's used to wash the dishes in the kitchen. Let's connect them and make it a circuit. Steel wool has a very thin structure and high surface area, so it heats up very quickly when current flows through it. In just a few seconds, the heat causes it to break. That's because the current was too high for such a thin wire. It is overheated and melted, breaking the circuit. Again, I am not asking you to conduct this activity on your own. Just observe this. Do not try this yourself. Even with the batteries, overheating can be risky. Always stay safe around electricity. But why this can be a problem? If wire inside our walls are overheated like that, they could melt, which would damage the appliances, and in turn, that could even cause a fire. So, how do we protect ourselves from such danger? How do we use this to our advantage for our safety? Well, we can build a protection device using this very effect. The solution is fuse. You can see one of this in your electric supply wire at your home or even in your devices in tiny tube form. A fuse is a tiny safety device in your circuit which is made from a thin wire of an alloy. These alloys are made from tin and lead and they melt easily whenever they are heated. So, when extra current flows in the circuit, these fuse wires, when they are present in the circuit, they heat up, melt, and they break the circuit before they can damage anything. So, in a way, they act like a bodyguard of your circuit, stepping in just in time. But what can cause this circuit overheat? Well, there are two big reasons. When you plug too many devices into the same socket or when in a series of sockets, it causes electric overload. Second reason can be when the insulation on wire wears off and both the wires touch directly. This causes what we call short circuit, literally meaning that the circuit has been shortened, causing too much load on the open point. Both of these cause too much current, and that's where the fuses come in handy. Well, nowadays many home uses MCB, which is miniature circuit breakers. Unlike fuses, MCBs don't melt. Let's see how they are different from the electric fuses. There are three main differences in them in terms of how they work and how they are used. First, instead of melting, MCBs strip down due to heating effect, turning off the current like a switch. Electric fuse, as we know, they melt and break. MCBs are reusable, quick to reset unlike electric fuse, and even safer in some cases. MCBs are commonly used in modern homes, whereas electric fuses are still used in some old houses and some old devices. Again, just to remember, they both do the same job but they work differently depending on how much advanced they are in terms of technology. Even with all these safety bodyguards, you must always be aware and cautious whenever you are dealing with electricity. Never fix fuses yourself. You must also avoid overloading the sockets where you plug in all your chargers in one series of socket or one socket with your phone charger, your laptop charger, your tablet charger, your watch charger. You must take care of this. Always use ISI marked devices. It shows the product meets safety standards from the Bureau of Indian Standards. You remember this one from our previous video when we talked about LED and CFL, right? And you must always ask adults for help with the main electricity. So what did we learn? We learned that too much current causes overheating, and this happens due to the short circuits or overloads in the circuit. As a bodyguard, fuse melts and breaks the circuit, which prevents fire and damage by stopping the current flow. Fuse wires are made from special tin or lead alloys that melt at lower temperatures. MCB, miniature circuit breaker, is used as a modern upgrade. Instead of melting, they trip like a switch and can be reset safely. ISI mark is equal to safety assured. You must always choose ISI certified products to ensure the safe performance. So next time your lights suddenly go off, it might just be the fuse protecting your home like a tiny hero. Sometimes melting is saving. Alright, enjoy the science. Bye bye.